that doesn't doubt, that doesn't waver, yet not have the wisdom to bring about the fulfillment of the very thing you're exercising faith for. So it's important we go into the stories of people, we learn from the steps that they have taken, because this is how we have a glimpse into the wisdom of God, which is the practical application of God's word into a situation, and we learn from it. All right. My name is Poju, I'm the senior pastor of the Covenant Nation, and I have as my guest today Dr. Uvie Brigue, who also pastors the Covenant Nation in London. Uvie, welcome.
Thank you very much.
All right, so we'll be discussing on the subject of faith, and we'll look at two things that you went through in life, and how you applied God's word in 4 stages. First of all, faith is the evidence of things not seen, which means God gives you the evidence for what you have believed him for. Then the application of that faith, which is the confession of God's word. And then the exercise, all right, of patience there. And then the act of obedience that you can perceive or you remember that brought about the spiritual breakthrough. But let's start by, first of all, making it clear to everybody that the God kind of faith is a faith that begins where the will of God concerning the situation is known. In other words, the individual has heard from God as to what God has decided to do about that particular situation. In other words, the guarantee he has given to that individual that I will use my power in the performance of this particular task. For example, he told, the Bible says Abraham was fully persuaded that what God had promised, he was able to perform. To Mary, it was, there shall be a performance of those things that were told her by the Lord. All right, so I want to start out in this. So what really happened, and how did you apply God's word to this?
Okay, yeah, so the first story comes to mind when I was in school, and I was in medical school. I was in the second year, and I did the second MB. There were 5 exams which you took, which you had to prepare for over a year. And after the results came out, I had 5 receipts. You know, so I failed all 5 basically. And I remember clearly the day I came into school to check the results, and as I came into my room, I just saw 2 of my friends. They just called me to the side and said, the results, I asked them if the results were out. They said, yes, the results are out. And I said, what did I get? They said, come and sit down. So I knew that there was a problem. So I said, did I have any receipt? They said, yes. I said, how many? 1? No. 2? By the time I got to 5, I said 5. My legs were actually crumbling under me. I remember the emotional state I was in. I said 5. But